Welcome to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage, and today we're going to be having a look at Ethereum. Before we jump into that, just want to say thanks for watching. If you are enjoying the content, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you'll find links to Discord. Come check it out. It's free to join. Okay, so what we're looking for here is further evidence of this bigger third wave to the upside. 2092 is that typical target we are looking for. So we were talking about a couple of things within this. We need to be a little bit cautious. There is still that potential this could just be a bigger corrective structure as a flat correction, so we're going to go over that. But for as long as we continue to set these higher lows and maintain this 1762, we can look for this to continue to be progressing up in this bigger third wave here. So we were talking about this in the previous video, and what we were looking for was the potential for a breakout within this. So this is looking for that internal leg here, where this is potentially 1, 2, and then we're looking for this as potentially looking to form this third wave. But once again, we haven't really moved up as high as we need to for this confirmation. All that we have at the moment here is the three-wave move to the upside. So we're going to discuss why we need to be cautious about this fact. It is possible that this is still extending out here, so we could, continue to see this push to the upside here, and we could actually look, for continuation, and we could look to push up towards this 2042. We want to continue to maintain these support zones. So this 1756, obviously this was our typical area we were looking for here. We didn't actually come down into this. We probably came down to that 382. So this would have been a shallow retracement. So now we want to see this continue. And the way we're looking for that continuation basically is in this manner. And we're talking about that potential that this was a flat over here. So I'm still keeping an eye on this, still maintaining that this could be a flat here. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 into this high. And then basically looking for that potential, that we could have a fourth wave to the downside here. As long as we continue to maintain this 1844. If we start to lose that area, it becomes less likely. We also need to be careful here because there is what seems to be five-wave structure to the downside. So we need to just make sure that we don't get any extension in here, and then we end up forming a big impulsive move to the downside. So we're going to go over that as well. But basically what we're looking for is this target area has changed slightly now, and what we'd be looking potentially for as a fifth wave here would be as towards a zone of this 2000 to this 1965. So this is still viable for as long as we hold this 1844 area. If we, however, break down and we do start to come down lower here, we'll have to see whether this lower support range holds. The 1842 to the 1796 range. If we fail to hold this lower support range, what we could get here is that, if we lose this 1796, it becomes more likely that actually at that point, we're starting to extend to the downside here. So need to be cautious. Losing this lower range here would be a bad sign, and would potentially mean we're looking for that C wave. So we're going to go over that now. But as long as we hold this zone, potentially we could still see this play out as a 1 and another 2 here. It's 1, 2, 1, 2, and then it becomes a bigger move like this, or potentially maybe within this count, we could argue that we actually complete into this high with the fifth wave, with this becomes just a zigzag here, and then we just have one quick little burst up for this fifth wave and it's completed. So there's a couple of ways of looking at it. I want to see what the structure does next to sort of give an indication about which one of these options is more likely. But really, for as long as we continue to hold this 1844, even if we do drop down one more time here and potentially test this zone, I would really want to see it hold though, because we've already tested this previous fourth here. I want to see this start to move away 1, 2, maybe 1, 2, and then we start to break up in a bigger five-wave structure like that, something towards that effect, and looking for the sort of 2000 2000 to this 1965. The thing is, we have actually come down quite deep with this move. So just going to be bearing in mind that because of that fact, we might actually see a truncation here if that's the case, and be keeping an eye out towards this 1923 as well. Because of the fact that we've come quite deep with this wave four, either, like I said, potentially this could be another 1, 2, and then it looks to actually progress up in a much bigger way. Or alternatively, within here, we have something like this, where this is going to be a deep wave four, but then maybe our fifth wave is not going to have that strength to the upside to actually get up into this higher range of this 2000. So keep an eye on this 0.382, this 1923 range. If we do get a five-wave move up into here, so the important thing is going to be the structure. And we'd want to see a five-wave move into here. The only time we'd know it's complete is when it breaks down and actually takes out this low. So if we get a five-wave move up here, we'll be looking for that potential three-wave move down, looking to say one, two, and then looking for that continuation to the upside and looking for that, that progression to continue here. The thing we've got to be cautious of is, like I said previously, there is still potential of a bigger flat correction here, where we look at this move from further back here. And I'm just going to change this count off here. And we're talking about this potential of this being a bigger A, this being a B wave, and the thing is, we've actually come up to this one-to-one. So that would be the length of this wave here into this low is basically one-to-one of that length is here, this 1913. So we've actually come up into this. We almost went up to that 236, and we went up to the 1.618, and this 1.618 is of this A wave. So this is a typical zone that we look for this move to play out in, as a flat for this B wave. So if we start to break down in a deeper way, potentially we could be looking for a C wave move. So there's a couple of target areas here that we have. Basically, this 1841 would be the 0.618 of this A wave, which would be a running flat, would be very sneaky if we did get a turnaround here. And this was a flat because it would be really disproportionate though. Um, Alternatively, we could be looking for the 1780 area. This would actually probably be more likely. Come back into this channel, test this, and then either find support and move away, or potentially look to target out these lower ranges. But this whole range here, from the 1686 all the way up to this 1841, these key levels are often turning points that we can find when we're looking for a flat correction within these spaces. So this is something just to keep an eye on. These are going to be levels that I'm watching out for. If we did get a bigger flat like this in this location, though, it would be less likely, though, that from this perspective of structure wise, it'd be more likely that this is actually a one then, and we're getting a flat for a wave two. And if that's the case, potentially those targets are higher, but typically they do tend to come towards this 382 to this 50% range. So I would be keeping an eye out on this potentially extending out. Another way that we can look for a target with these as a flat correction is actually taking this move here. And if I just put the regular on here, looking for this this 1.618, which is this 1596. So basically this would actually put us right back into this zone, would make a lot of sense, but then so would the idea that, if we have a flat into the top end of this box here, it would be a retest of these highs. So, yeah, I mean, there's a couple of ways of looking at this. We'll have to see what happens off of these highs. So, how would this play out? So, the way that we'd be looking for this to play out, if this is actually what's happening, is we would be looking for that potential that within here, we are within a bigger five-way move. So, I've got this marked out on this 1.618 down here at this 1821. At the moment, it doesn't look like it's extending, but there is always the potential that we could have something like this where this becomes a 1, 2 in here. This is a 1, 2. This is a 3, 4, and a 5. Then we get another fourth and a fifth, something like this. And it would actually look to potentially push us down into these lower ranges. So this is something that I'm keeping an eye out on. If we do continue to so if we continue to be rejected off this area here, let me just change this over to fourth wave. So it's already come up a little bit high as a typical fourth wave. If we're looking at this location, it has come above this 1873 region, which is a typical 50%. But it is possible that within here it could be extending in another way that I'm not seeing at the moment. It could even be 1-2, 1-2, and then we have a much deeper push. Yeah, but basically we've come down to this 1-to-1. What I want to see to eliminate this idea of actually having continuation and breakdown is getting back above these swing highs, breaking back above all these key areas, and particularly this one up here, which is sitting at this 1918, because until we actually break this high, we could actually set up 1, 2, 1, and even if we do get a higher move up higher here towards this 1904 to this 18, sorry, 1885. Potentially, what we could just see is a three-wave move up here, and then we look to continue to break down. So the key the key zone I'm looking for here is this 1618. Obviously, if we do get a three-wave move to the upside here, and we see something like this play out, we see maybe ABC, and we get a bigger move up here. It's going to be key what happens next. If we then break down and take these lows with a five-wave structure, then we need to be careful that we aren't extending out where either this is ABC, this becomes a B wave, and then we're going to form a deeper WXY, or a bigger ABC, and then we'd be looking to potentially come back into those, those higher this higher support range that I've said here, this 1842 to this 1796 region. So, if we do break down into this zone, this could still offer us support and we look to push to the upside. But once we start to lose this 1796, then we'd have to be careful because it would probably indicate by that point that, we got a bigger structure to the downside and it could actually look to sell off much deeper for that bigger C wave. So these are the different things that I'm currently keeping an eye on. There are obviously various different counts to this. These are the most likely, or the two most likely, in my opinion, given the current structures. But yeah, we need to see how these react. I am still looking for that potential for a push up here, but if we fail um, to hold this 1844, it becomes less likely. And then finally, if we actually cross 1822, that would completely invalidate this move. But the deeper we come here, if this is a wave four as an ABC, the less likely that this fifth wave is going to take these highs. And it would be more likely to me in that case that, potentially we could actually look to target out that 0.382 area, which would bring us back into the line with this area here, and then look for that possibility that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, get a truncated fifth wave, come back down into this yellow support box, and then look to potentially launch another rally. But yeah, like I said, we need to be careful. Dropping directly down past this 1821 would potentially indicate a bigger five-wave move here. If we did get a five-wave move to the downside, we'd have to be watching the retracement to see whether we get a three-wave move to the upside. If we get a three-wave move up, potentially we would be looking for that continuation to the downside. So it's going to be important if we do break down in a bigger way here. Watch the retracement. We'll typically look for that zone of that 50% to that 786. I'm just going to say that we land in this box that I've got here, and that would typically look to be around this 1913 to this 1874. So that would be if we actually move down in this bigger five-wave move where this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. This would be the potential zone we could face rejection. Obviously, we're still holding support here, so we could look to reverse, take out these highs and validate this idea. But it's just something that we need to keep an eye on for as long as we do remain below this high point of this 1918 area. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Check out the description. We have links to Discord, BYBIT, and affiliate links for BYBIT and for PrimeXBT, great exchanges we use on a regular basis. There are also links for CryptComps where you can win $10,000 of any crypto of your choice. Check them out. There is a lot down there, and there's even more on the Discord. So come check it out. It's free to join. Everyone, have a great day. See you in the next one. Take care.